that is how Howard escaped Great Ma Isle. It wasn't with grace, and it wasn't with style. Howard fled in a rowboat. He was sad and afraid. And as for poor Phillip, whom Howard betrayed, his body stayed frozen, trapped there in that room, not far from the table where he'd met his doom. A room that was cold, full of heartbreak and death. A room where poor Phillip had drawn his last breath. Howard had come here with selfish intent, and took with him his pride wherever he went. He never confronted his horrible past between tortoise and hare. The tortoise came last, and the finish line wasn't at all what he'd thought, so Howard went home to lament his grim lot. Howard longed to say something. He wanted to shriek. Instead, all he did was watch Angelique. "Thank you," she said. "You have saved both our souls, and now that I'm free, I'll chase after my goals. This slime you helped make brought my arm back, you know. All I need is time, and my knowledge will grow. One was too late, the other went mad. But I will be neither, Howard, my good lad. I will do only what I know that I should. I'll make certain my breakthroughs are nothing but good. And if you require employment someday, just stop by my lab, and I'll hire you, okay?" Howard said nothing. His gaze turned away. He thought of Phil's body. He thought of decay.
If only,
He thought,
I could do things once more. I'd find Phillip faster. I'd save him for sure.
Then he looked back at the girl, Angelique. He stared right at her. His expression was bleak.
With beakers and needles and doodads.
He said,
With leakers and reedles and hoo-hats.
eyes red. Then the two rode. They rode all through the night. And Angelique said a few times, "It's all right." She comforted Howard until they reached town. They got out of the rowboat and then tied it down, and Howard was met with a mad-looking mob. A mob which was led by a copper named Bob. "The man of the hour," Bob said with a grin. Then he pointed toward a police car. "Get in." Howard stayed locked in a jail cell for months because he had stolen that old boat from Gunt's. The air grew much colder. The skies became red. The ocean grew rougher. The trees became dead. December had come, and that year, from Morose, the breakthrough that came was one horrid and gross. The earth, it all trembled, and each passing day, more and more people were passing away. A dark, seething madness came up from beneath, a madness which pleased the great serpent, Slorkeith. All of this went on for what felt like years. Every human on Earth was consumed by their fears. The jail cell where Howard stayed fell apart too. And so, having nothing at all he could do, Howard walked slowly back toward the dock. His eyes were fixed forward. He gazed like a hawk. Out there, toward Doctor Morose's abode.
By God,
Thought poor Howard.
could I lighten your load?
Then came from the sea, with large eyes on each bend, a massive green tendril, and that was the end. Howard had done it. He'd saved Phillip's life. He'd saved Angelique from her torment and strife. And yet, as they rode far away from that place, Howard couldn't ignore the sad look on Phil's face. "You've doomed us all," Phillip said with a frown. "We'll all die the next time a gift reaches town."
The doctor's insane.
Howard spat back at Phil.
He won't get better, but you can. And you will. I will stay with you. I'll make sure you're all right. I will help cure your madness. I'll work day and night. There is no big secret beneath the dock's aisle. These delusions will surely fade after a while.
"He's right," came the voice of the girl, Angelique, who had about her an odd air of mystique. "Your friend here just saved you, and he saved me too. And I think that's wonderful, Phillip, don't you? then she faced Howard, out there in the sea. And she said, "Hey, Howard, why not work for me?" Then Howard smiled, his first in some time.
Angie, you're wild. You and that weird slime.
The two laughed and rode all through the night. And Howard told Phil a few times.
It's all right.
He comforted Philip until they reached town. They got out of the boat, and then they tied it down. And Howard was met with a mad-looking mob. A mob which was led by a copper named Bob. But Angelique stood up for Howard that night. After all they'd been through, it would only be right. With her ID card proving she worked for Morose, she said, "Go ahead, check the island. It's gross." She paid Howard's bail. The theft left in the past. And working together, the two had a blast. But the world would not come to respect Angelique. I'm sorry, but this tale's a little more bleak. Philip was put in a home near the dock. Most days he did nothing but sit there and rock back and forth in the corner of his padded room, never saying a word except sometimes for doom. Howard would visit Phil most every day, upset that Philip had turned out this way. Oh, how he longed to restore Philip's mind. But that was the breakthrough he could never find. Authorities tried to reach Morose's place, but each new attempt was a deeper disgrace. Each time the police tried to go and attack, not one policeman would ever come back. Then, one day, walking down by the dock, Howard saw something that filled him with shock. An unopened letter. To Howard, it read, and so Howard opened it. Here's what it said. "I bet you're happy right now, aren't you? Is there any depth that he will not stoop to? You are the reason Phil turned out this way. You didn't listen. Now he's not okay. Whatever comes next, it's all 'cause of you. And you could have stopped it, if only you knew." Howard folded it up, kept it under his hat.
It isn't my fault at all, darn blue cat.
Then he shivered a bit, thinking back on that place. He thought of the doctor. He thought of Phil's face.
It's getting cold out.
He said to himself.
I think I'll go get Philip's scarf off my shelf.
December had come, and that year, for Morose, the breakthrough that came was one horrid and gross. A dark, seething madness came up from beneath, a madness which pleased the great serpent, Slorkeith. And as the world fell apart, torn at the seams, Howard saw Doctor Morose in his dreams. And as for poor Howard, well, he tried to run, till a rock smashed his leg, and his journey was done. For a time he said nothing, no, nothing at all. He did not cry, did not wail, did not bawl.
I've done a great thing today,
Howard said.
And so, I suppose, if I have met my end, I can be happy, for the elder still sleeps. And he'll stay down here, sleeping with all of these creeps.
Howard saw spiders. He saw Nessie, too.
Now go to sleep. That means all of you.
And after he saw the last little eldritch bone that found itself snug in the last eldritch rug, Howard just smiled, his leg torn to shreds, till a rock hit his face and he saw shades of reds. Then, as he breathed his last breath, Howard thought,
I'll miss you, poor Philip. I'll miss you a lot.
And that is how Howard saved all of mankind. He gave up his life, and I'm sure you will find that humility was all that was left on his mind when at last he left this cruel planet behind. Howard could see it, could see the deep past, could see the far future, the future so vast. He felt his corneas freeze and reheat. He felt like a pile of damp, writhing meat. The great older one slept beneath Great Isle. None knew for how long, but it had been for a while. And as for the island, with rocks shaped like teeth, it was the mouth of the serpent, Slorkeith. Howard saw everything. He knew it all. And then he saw God. the great elder stood tall. Howard knew that he couldn't take down the great beast, but put it back to sleep? He could do that, at least. He closed his eyes once. He pictured his friend. Howard wasn't a dunce. He knew this was the end. Howard, I love you, his mother once said. His mother, who got shot and ended up dead. Oh, come on, Howard, you don't have to cry, Phillip had said when he waved him goodbye. He had heard everything, seen everything, too. He had come here knowing just what to do.
You might not be dead,
Howard said with a sigh.
but you'll stay here sleeping till all humans die.
Then, like a rocket, he moved back and forth. He saw the great kingdom of Slurgotha-Gorth. And still, for some reason, this brown-wearing lad managed to keep himself from going mad. He saw and he heard and he felt and he feared all manner of things which were cosmic and weird. He saw every world, every game, every tale. He then got devoured by a giant whale, and then all went black for a moment or two. But when he woke up, Howard knew what to do. All through the city, the Ancient Ones wailed. This was a disaster. Their prophecies failed. Soon enough, though, they became as before. They sat in their city and waited once more. They chanted in tongues and they sang their great praise. The Elder will rise again one of these days. And as for poor Howard, well, he tried to run, till a rock smashed his leg and his journey was done. For a time he said nothing, no, nothing at all. He did not cry, did not wail, did not bawl.
I've done a great thing today,
Howard said.
and so I suppose, if I have met my end, I can be happy, for the Elder still sleeps, and he'll stay down here sleeping with all of these creeps.
Howard saw spiders. He saw Nessie, too.
Now go to sleep. That means all of you.
And after he saw the last little eldritch bone, it found itself snug in the last eldritch rug. Howard just smiled, his leg torn to shreds, till a rock hit his face, and he saw shades of reds. Then, suddenly, as his consciousness faded, Howard saw Phillip, and he felt so elated. He was so happy he wanted to shout, but tired grunting was all that came out. Then all went black. He struggled just a little bit, but somehow Phillip made both fit. The elevator groaned and swayed, with sounds that made him feel dismayed. Finally, they reached the top of that horrid reddish shaft. When they got out, Phil heard a pop. Then Phil almost sort of laughed. "You'll never make it down there now," Phillip said. "That is my vow." Then Phil walked and carried his friend until they finally reached the end. But Montgomery's boat had been destroyed. What tricks had Doctor Morose employed? That's when Phil heard from behind.
You think that I have lost my mind? You think I've gone start raving mad. But I only want what I once had. You should understand that. Unlike that idiot in the brown hat.
Phillip sighed. There was nowhere to run. This was the end. Their journey was done. That's when Phillip saw the beak, and at that moment heard a shriek. Not from Howard, who was still knocked out. Not from Phillip, who was too tired to shout. But from Morose, caught in a grab by Nessie, who'd escaped the lab. She tore and ripped and made new bends. She slurped the doctor's slimy green ends. Then she smiled at Phillip and licked Phillip's face, as if to say, I don't belong in this place. Howard awoke with a great sense of pain. Good, you're awake, Phillip said. You're insane. I cannot believe that you pulled that off, man.
Believe me,
Howard choked up some blood.
I can.
The two laughed a moment.
Wait, how do we leave?
Said Howard, in desperate need of reprieve. Phil smiled. I've got something hid up my sleeve. The two boarded Nessie, who swam for the shore. She wasn't as scary as she'd been before. Perhaps a good meal was all that she needed. Going unfed would turn anyone heated. Eventually, Howard and Phillip reached town, but nobody tied the great yellow beast down. And Howard was met with a mad-looking mob, a mob which was led by a copper named Bob. But Phil wasn't having it, and he sent away all of the folks who had gathered that day. The cops stormed the island and they shut it down, and rumors about it spread all throughout town. Howard and Phillip and Nessie, all three, worked for Angelique and lived happily. That's how a boat stolen late in the night led a man named Howard to face a great fright. The journey was long and quite difficult too, so thank you for playing our game, all of you. You fought tooth and nail and survived all night long. So now, enjoy credits, and of course, a theme song. Howard and Phillip are once again close. They've escaped from the island of